score, but I don't have to.
It's a win, yo. Okay.
And we won. It was amazing. All right, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Fins Talk. Today, I'm your host, Bobby Fins Talk, joined always by the one and only Fish Tank. Hey, you're watching Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Smash that like, subscribe, and as always, Fins up. It's a day away from game day. Last weekend, I was sitting beside the great Fish Tank, Hank, on his beautiful deck patio in Orlando, Florida. Of course, it was a bye week, so we just talked Dolphins football. We discussed the season, how excited we were. It is a nice view. Hank's living room there, a beautiful painting in the back. My Dolphin helmet and stuff behind me. It's a view for us. Good afternoon, Rafi boy, Evan, Dolphins Thirsty. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go to dolphinsthirsty.com. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Fish Tank, before we get started on the Texans and the crazy little rumor that keeps popping up, let's talk about you. How you doing, Fish Tank? Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness. Let me do this. I feel as rested as the Miami Dolphins do right now. And you know what that means. That's bad freaking news for the Texans.
Hey,
I feel sorry for the Texans because I think with this 2 weeks for McD to prepare and get everybody, the juices flowing and let them know where they're standing, we have to win. We need to win. We need to stay ahead of Buffalo. Now's the key time. We also need to beat Buffalo. But we'll get into a little more of that. I want you to tell us how you're doing, Bobby. I mean, you've been running around everywhere, stopping over people's houses. How are you feeling? Tired or have you gotten a rest?
I've been able to rest. I am still tired. Mike Brown, I left Florida, Miami. I am back home. Mike Brown, Mike the Hebrew Hammer, host of Bottoms Up, Fins Up. He's in Miami. He just landed. He'll be at the game tomorrow. So Fish Tank, you guys will be in the same building. But it was great. I got to see Fish Tank. That was awesome. What an experience. Him and his lovely wife welcomed me in their home. It was awesome. Then I got to see my brother, Alex. We were able to produce the shows from his house with the Fins bandwagon and Real Talk Fins Up. This was a really cool experience. And of course, we did a special edition, 10th Street Boys, Miami Sports Talk. Ralph made an appearance, Alex, Harrison, my brother. So it was really cool. Had an awesome time down there. Got to see the family. My kids got a chance to spend time with their grandparents. Very cool. But Hank, let's start this off before we get into the Houston Texans and Miami. It's been kind of brought up a lot this week, a little bit, not by us. So we want to talk about it. I see 2 Sports Illustrated articles. Not clickbait. Because what's up, G? But we're happy you're tuning in. I don't do clickbait. We talk about rumors, report anything that has to do with the Dolphins, and it's been brought up by multiple people, especially Sports Illustrated. So I thought me and Hank should talk about it because, hey, the Dolphins are 7-3. They got the top 3 offense in the NFL with Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Jeff Wilson, Tua. and Mike McDaniel, of course, everyone else involved in that offense. But maybe Miami's not done. They added Jeff Wilson. They added Bradley Chubb. There's a certain wide receiver on the market who's been kind of flirting with some football teams. Never mentioned the Dolphins in those main reports. However, he's been spotted in Miami multiple times, especially in the Miami Heat games with Melvin Ingram. And it's been brought up by Sports Illustrated. Are the Dolphins trying to bring in Odell Beckham Jr.? We do know who Odell Beckham is and what he can bring to a football team. I think he had if you look at his numbers last year with the Rams, excuse me, they weren't flashy. 500-something yards. Games, he was very important. I think it was 10-plus touchdowns. He's still a very good wide receiver, potential Hall of Famer. Fish Tank. If this was a realistic possibility, because, we know what rumors are. This is a rumor.
Ifs with me.
I know it. But if you could add, right now, the pot in Miami with the offense, top 3 in the NFL, with Trent Sherfield, he's our wide receiver 3 right now. It's kind of simmering. This offense is on high, this on the oven. But if you add some sprinkling Odell Beckham, are you gonna ruin the dish? Are you gonna over flavor the meal? Or is it just the right amount of ingredients to put this team over the top? Is it worth going after Odell Beckham Jr. for the Dolphins?
Okay. Let's
I know you like that. I knew you liked that.
You notice I have this dark hat on today. You know why?
Why?
This is for the Texans' funeral after we win tomorrow. Anyway, look, I'm just saying, you're asking about Odell Beckham Jr. The Miami Dolphins are 7-3. They're close to a complete team. Wow. Do we need Odell Beckham Jr. is more like my question to myself. And the answer to that is we have plenty of depth at wide receiver. If the Miami Dolphins choose to go out and get Odell Beckham Jr., I think it would be a huge mistake. Ooh, I like Odell Beckham Jr. I'm not saying he doesn't have game left in him. He does. But I don't think putting him in place in place of some of the younger wide receivers like Eazy-E and a few other people we have on the team, I don't think that's a good idea. I believe that right now our backups are just as good as Odell Beckham Jr. will be if he comes into our building with the people that we have working with our offense right now. And you already have 2 great receivers, and you try to throw in something else to make some kind of magic. You have Gesicki, and he's not even working out that good as a red zone threat. I mean, he's gotten 1 or 2, but I just don't see how Odell Beckham Jr. brings any benefit to our team right now.
I agree with you, and I'll say this: I don't think it's Miami trying to convince him or trying to flirt with him to come to the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are very happy with what they have as weapon-wise. Adding in Jeff Wilson, with Gesicki. I mean, and like you said, he's not even having a stellar season, but you got Tyreek, Jalen, Trent Sherfield. You got these guys already. You
have plenty.
And Steve brings up Diva, which is he's one of the better receivers. He does have that team, and he's I would use the word alpha, but we already have an alpha in that wide receiver room, and that's Tyreek Hill. Okay, well, we got 2, but the main dog is Tyreek. He's the one who leads that team. He's the one who's Jalen Waddle's right with him. You're right. We got 1A, 1B, and those 2 guys because Jalen Waddle could be a 1A in any team. So we don't need Odell. Odell needs Miami. So that's why you see these reports coming out with the Dolphins, especially Sports Illustrated. It's more, to me, Odell showing his face in Miami, trying to push that narrative because he sees the writing on the wall. He sees Miami as the real deal. So he can hop on that bandwagon, no pun intended. So, I think there's always smoke where there's fire, but I think it's more Odell's camp than it is the Dolphins. If I'm the Dolphins, again, I'm looking secondary, I'm looking offensive line, even though offensive line's really improving. But I think, like you said, Miami's close to a complete team. Let me ask you this. What would make Miami a complete team?
What would make Miami a complete team?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you still have linebacker issues. You could use another you could use either another year at cornerback, or you could use an upgraded cornerback. In Kohu. You say Kehu, I say Kohu.
I say Kohu.
Oh, you do? All right.
I think that's
My bad.
Evan. Evan can't pronounce it.
Evan's the one. Okay.
Yeah,
I remember somebody was saying Kehu, and I didn't know who, but the guys got me going every direction here. Just imagine if I was getting stoned. Look, the whole thing is with this Odell Beckham garbage. And what was your question?
What was my question?
Yeah.
Oh, you answered it. I said, well, you said the team is close to a complete team. I just would like to know what would make it a complete football team, in your opinion, if Evan's favorite general manager, Chris Greer, said, okay, I'm going to go out and sign a player besides OBJ. What position would you rather them go after to complete this football club?
All right. Well, answer me this question first. Who are the two linemen that have replaced the other two linemen that we have in there now at guard?
Well, we got Robert Jones at left guard, and I believe it's Brandon Shell at right tackle. That's the difference.
Yeah, there's been a bit of change, and I'll tell you, so far that change is working out. Now, is Miami going to stay fit with those two or not? I don't know. So I wanted to talk about them because right now they're doing great. And I don't see why Miami would change the formula with them. But if there was a place to add, they might bring in a new left tackle to take over for Armstead eventually or whatever. Give him a year or two behind
You're talking
him.
down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
You're asking me about the team. What's going to make it a complete team?
Yes, sir.
If you were to bring in stronger linemen, which currently our linemen, we have no depth. We have zero depth. So if somebody gets hurt, we're kind of screwed. And I don't like that. And that, that's where I sit on the linemen, because I still believe we need one or two more linemen on that offensive line.
Ralph says a field goal kicker. I know Evan would like that. So, if Jason Sanders could get over that hump, that will definitely help Miami get closer this season to being a complete football team. Because then we know we can rely on our kicker to help us win football games. Right now, it's unreliable. You can't trust him. And that's pretty scary, especially when it comes time for playoffs. Miami will be in the playoffs, but when you're going against teams like Kansas City in the cold and you're relying on the run, which we got that settled with Jeff Wilson. Raheem Mostert might miss tomorrow, but we got Jeff Wilson, got that running game going with him. That's okay. But when it comes time to kicking that football, we're going to be riding our nails to skin deep when he's on the field. So we got to pray he gets over the hump. So Ralph's not wrong. I know Evan agrees with him.
Fins up, everybody, just in case we missed you. John,
absolutely.
Steve,
John, Steve, Ralph, everybody. G, who is in there, thank you for tuning in, watching Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. We're here every Saturday. We start our week with Fins Talk today. We preview the games. We talk about everything. We're not some shows where, not on this network, the network in general, but everywhere else. We don't take a bye week. We don't take an off season.
We don't?
No. Hey, we could. One of us will, but we don't. We always have something to talk about. There's always something to talk about.
There's always something fun, Miami Dolphins, to talk about
right.
for me.
That's
because
right.
They're always doing something good, whether that be the community or whatever. There's always something good going on with them. So
absolutely. So like and subscribe and Fins up. So let's go ahead, guys, and let's discuss the Houston Texans tomorrow coming to Hard Rock. They're going to face a 7-3 Miami Dolphins coming off the bye, being a little healthy, hopefully fully healthy. Tua's red hot. Tyreek is hot. Jeff Wilson is really coming into it. Mike McDaniel, possibly coach of the year. let's start with this, Fish Tank. We're 15 minutes in. I don't want to keep you going. I know, I'm tired, vacation mode. I'm trying to get off of it. I know your head's hurting. We're going to keep this rolling, though. Let's go ahead and discuss right now. I don't have the numbers in front of me, the rankings for the Houston Texans, and, any given Sunday with any given team. However, Texans have just benched their starting quarterback in Davis Mills. They are, I don't have their record, but they are like almost dead last in the league in offense and defense. If you had to give a percentage, I'm going to flip it because I know where we're going. But if you had to give a percentage of Houston winning the football game tomorrow,
Houston winning
0 to 100,
yeah,
what is it?
0.
0% chance.
0.
Like Vince
They
McMahon,
have no,
like the Vince McMahon theme song, they've got no chance in hell. Is that true?
There is no way
Okay.
in hello, good morning, good night, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be like, Lovie Smith is going to watch the dirt piled on the grave is what's going to happen here.
Poor Lovie.
I mean, you put the guy in an impossible situation with the Texans, all right?
You did.
Somebody come in before him, screw everything up, and leave him with everything screwed up. And now he's got to work to get out of that hole that somebody else created. So it's not Lovie Smith, and they're going to wind up probably letting him go and blaming him when it wasn't his fault. But we'll see at the end of the year. But
and Evan says talking absolutes, may. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Star Wars reference. Dolphins Thirsty says 3%. John Santos says 0.5%. Steve says no comment. I love it. All right.
Okay, look, Bobby, let me tell you why it's 0%.
Yes,
right?
sir. Go for it.
I know you got a couple ideas, and Evan's saying that you think the Texans are going to upset us. I think that's pretty funny, Evan. That's a good joke.
He's hilarious. What a comedian.
But, Miami's had 2 weeks to prepare. And Miami would come on defensive. Miami would come on offensively. And they're kind of flipping back and forth and never – we had a decent game, but Miami hasn't still exploded yet. And if this is the game against the Texans, oh my God, it could be a 50-something point game.
Ooh.
So
are you teasing?
I'm not teasing. I'm being serious,
Okay.
John says there's no absolutes. Well, there is. You're going to be born and you're going to die. That is absolutely going to happen. So, with that said,
God dang, well, this got dark. Holy shit. Where did this come from? Oh, God. It's Christmas.
There's always absolutes.
He said you're going to get bored. You're going to die. Holy crap.
Just like they used to tell me. They used to say, because my last name's Carpenter, like everybody
What's up, Killer?
already knows. And they used to say to me, Carpenter, you're going to do one of 2 things. And that was an absolute. Trust me.
John's not wrong. He says there are no absolutes in sports, Hank. In sports, there is no absolutes.
Oh, in sports? Wow. Miami's absolutely going to knock the snot out of the Texans.
That's true. Evan's
right?
right, though. Evan's right. The truth is the Finns do not want to explain themselves if they lose. Just imagine the blowover. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know with Finn fans. I mean, I'll say this just to that comment. I don't believe it, but if Miami was, according to Evan saying, if they did lose, the national media will be all over Miami. I don't think the fans will. I think the fans will be disappointed. You'll have your people start crawling out of the woodworks and making their comments about who was to blame. Hint number 1, no blame. But I think the Dolphins have proven that they are legit. They could, any team, any given Sunday, but it would be the national media. I don't think it would be the fans who would be all over Miami if they were to lose tomorrow. But I don't think there's a chance.
California?
Ralph says, Lovie Smith will have his team taking chances. They have nothing to lose, but Miami's too good. McDaniel, as always, will have our team ready, and we will blow them out of the water. Tua T MVP back in the house. We appreciate you. Sure don't need him or his ego. This team is playing like a family, and he'd cause too much drama. Dolphins will destroy the Texans 48-10. I'd say more, but I'll take Tua out early.
Miami is going to come out like a fresh team with 10 games under their belt for the year, okay? They are well-versed with one another. This is no more hokey pokey.
Whew,
the Miami Dolphins, there's no put your left hand in, there's none of that little. No, Miami's going to come in and they're going to stomp the butts of the Texans. There's going to be mud stomping in their butts. It's going to happen.
I agree with you, Evan. I would rest Mozart for this game and have him ready for San Francisco. We need Wilson and Mozart for San Francisco. That will be tougher than this one. But, okay, Fish Tank. We're at the 21-minute mark. Guys, again, with Fitz Talk today, we could go over 30, 40 minutes. We do it, but we like to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. But let's go ahead and talk about keys to victory. Okay. What are your 3 keys to secure a Miami Dolphins victory against the Texans tomorrow?
Okay, first key is Miami Dolphins have to show up to the game. That's my first key. Once they show up, they're halfway there to a win.
I love it.
Then after they show up, they might as well stop outside and visit me in row 204 in the blue section and come tailgate for a little while before the game starts, so they'll be extra relaxed, means they had 2 weeks to prepare for the Texans. And then third, they'll need to drink lots of beer because it's all going to be one big party anyway, so you might as well start before the game even comes around. And those are my 3 keys. No, I'm just kidding. Look, 3 keys are Miami has got to contain this quarterback. I understand he's kind of new and all this, but he can run. See, and that's Miami's biggest Achilles heel is the running quarterback. So Miami needs to contain the quarterback. We're going to have to stop the run on this game because they're going to try to push the run all down our throats. They're going to go over and over again because they're not going to have much of a passing attack. So hold the quarterback, either sack him in the pocket, whatever. Don't let him run wild on us. Running back. And third, our defense, as far as our secondary, needs to show up. Our secondary needs to stop giving up these big monster plays at the wrong times of the game and making the defense and everybody else work twice as hard. So secondary for Miami has got to be a bright light rather than a dim shine. You know what I mean?
I got you. I think for me, it has in the end, it has to translate to an all-complete football game. There's no reason why the defense or offense can't have a standout game. I think the defense should score early and often. No mercy. Score, run the ball. Get your, you had a bye week. Get some miles on those legs and those arms and start playing, and score some points. Show where you stand in the NFL. Leave no question on the field. Jason Sanders, give him some things to kick. Score some points so he could kick some extra points and prove Evan wrong that he could make some field goals.
I watch him before every game. Kicking.
Yes, sir.
The man doesn't miss them.
I know.
He doesn't. I'm just saying, I know everybody's feet off at him and saying, well, it's game time. They can't handle the pressure. No, that's not it. People just screw the pooch, and he's been doing that. And I think he'll be fine. And like somebody said on here, they said that he might be the key down the end of the road here. Yeah. And that's a very big possibility. But I think he'll be ready. I think this 1 week off, I think Miami will come into its own. He'll have to kick a couple of field goals, which will warm him up first, and then kick the longer ones. So, he'll do a couple extra points first, and that'll warm him up for a couple field goals.
My third and final key would just be make the backup quarterback of the Texans look like the backup quarterback. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins, Waquan Davis, eat, attack, Get him down, force some turnovers. Secondary, live off that pass rush, and Kohu and company get some interception. Howard get more than one interception. Make it a day. So Fish Tank, 25 minutes. Put your on your prediction hat and tell me. Now's the time. Who wins and what's your score?
Who wins? Miami's going to win. It's going to be 42-12.
32-12 tomorrow.
42.
Okay. 42.
42.
Oh! Okay.
12.
Okay. All right. I like it.
I don't even give them 2 touchdowns.
I see. Okay. Like it. I like it. All right. For me, I believe the Dolphins will fall right into a victory tomorrow, 38-10 against the Texans.
Whoa, we're close again.
Yes, I got 38-10 tomorrow for Miami.
We actually are the same distance again.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Dolphins thirsty again. If you love Dolphins content, first off, morning show.
38-17.
He has it 38-16. John has 38-17. I just want to say DolphinsThirsty.com. If you love Dolphins content, trivia, etc., go to DolphinsThirsty.com. You can see him every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern p.m. with Steve Malloy for Real Talk Fins Talk. Great show. He has a morning show as well on his YouTube page, and of course, Dolphins content on his website. So 38-17.
When's his morning show again?
It is on every morning during the week with JPF Scout Justin. I believe they are at 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Every day?
Every morning. I think they took a little bit of a break last week because of Thanksgiving. And, of course, Rob will correct me if I'm wrong. But, awesome dude, awesome content. Definitely worth going over there and subscribing. And let me tell you why you should subscribe to Fins Talk Sports Network. Not only do we have great sports content, obviously Miami Dolphins, a lot of Dolphins, but also, if you are a Dolphins fan and you haven't subscribed yet, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, once we get over to 500 subscribers, we will be doing a jersey giveaway, either Javon Holland or Jalen Waddle. Once we get over 5, we'll pick a random winner. If you like Dolphins gear, sports gear, doesn't matter if it's NFL, NBA, baseball, basketball, whatever, Dolphins, Texans, Yankees, whatever, hit up JPF Scout of Digging in the Trenches on Twitter. He will hook you up with great gear for a great price. Hit him up. All right, guys, we are at the 28-minute mark. Of course, Fish Tank is here. I'm here. Any questions or comments? Hank, you got any questions for the people watching?
I do. People keep asking me about Miami having a complete team and questioning whether they have a complete team. Am I off base? Do you folks think that we need something more than what I mentioned? I mean, am I missing it? 34-14, there's another good score.
I like it.
I don't see anybody saying that 0.5% is coming in anywhere.
That means John has to come in with that 5%. He has to come in now.
John, where's your 5%, man? You said 38-17. Come on.
Ralph has it 42-10. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I have a good time coming on here. And, even with you, Bobby, it's still all right. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good time with you, too.
Hey, it's all in what a man can tolerate all at once. You know what I mean?
I got you, brother. I got you. Oh, man. This team is overrated. They are all smoke and mirrors.
Evan, have a giant cup of shut the hell up.
Yes. Amen, brother.
Jesus, where do you come up with that crap?
28-10. G puts it up. Like it, G, man. If you haven't yet, brother, smash that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you tuning in. Evans, 17 is slop time. Hammer time. This game, they will bake their pie from own town to Super Bowl complete. Damn it, already there. Love it. All right. So, hey, this is what's great about it, right? Even if we can't agree if they're a complete team or not, we know there are some holes they need to address. That's going to happen in the offseason. We can say this. This team is a legit 7-3. Evan, put that crack pipe down. Evan's just, like Hammer Time said, Evan's just stirring up bullshit. There is no bigger bandwagon fan. And by and I don't mean he hopped on the Fins bandwagon. No, he has been always on there. But there is no bigger delusion fan in the world, and God love him, than Evan Posner. He is just
Wait a minute. I remember when we started this, you told me I was the most delusional person in the world.
That's why you're doing a show with him. You're right there with him, Chief. Just take a seat.
Yeah, but I'm doing it with you.
Right now, yes, you're doing the show with me. And I would have it no other way on Finn's Talk today than with Fish Tank Hank. Come on now, guys. Be nice. We're always nice, Ralphie.
You tell me
Anthony.
I'm delusional, and now it's Evan's delusional. Now, because we're winning, I'm more realistic, aren't I?
That's right. Ruben, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you. Hank, give us a percentage of Miami taking the AFC East crown from Buffalo.
From Buffalo? It's going to be that Buffalo game. And do I think Miami's going to win that Buffalo game? Because I think if they, I've said this.
We said 2 games. We're there. You and I are agreeing. We think Buffalo's the one we got to really, even though the Patriots and the Jets, we see how they're doing, but it's Buffalo we're really more concerned with. So I agree with you.
Buffalo's the main key to everything because the other teams already have losses, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And then the Bills and New England are going to play, and obviously the Bills will probably beat New England, and that'll be the end of that. So the real person we have to worry about is the Bills. And if we beat the Bills, we are going to go to the Super Bowl. I truly believe we will be able to beat Kansas City at home. So the percentage that Miami will beat the Buffalo Bills, I truly believe it depends on the weather that week. I truly believe that. And I think if it's fair weather, not completely clear and all, if it's fair weather, not just storming down, I think Miami will do fine. I think they'll do fine because they now have a running game. They also have a wide receiver that's played in this stuff before in Tyreek Hill, who can move the ball really quick. And our defense is coming on strong, especially the defensive line. And a weather game would only help our cornerbacks. So, I see Miami winning that game. It's going to be close, and that's what it's coming down to. And I think Miami has a 75% chance to win that game. So I'd say 75%.
Evan has it 65%. Hank has it 75%. John says he's more worried about the Titans and Derrick Henry than the Buffalo Bills. Anthony says, and Anthony, always thank you for tuning in, brother. OBJ stands for offer by Jets. Stay away from that guy. In a playoff game, that is. And you know what, John, Derrick Henry, the run game, either quarterback is with Tennessee, obviously Tannehill and Malik Willis, running quarterbacks. I get where you're coming from. I think you're not wrong. I think Miami, Buffalo's pretty scary. Buffalo is still a very strong football team, but the Titans are going to be a tough out in the playoffs. But if they're playing in Miami, I'm not worried. Anyway.
We won't face the Titans in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Fish Tank with the dunk. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in to Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Again, whether you're watching on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, smash the like and subscribe button. Don't forget, later today at 2 o'clock, we got Digging in the Trenches with JPF scout Justin, Doc, Reginald Brown, former Houston Oiler, on the show. Great show, talking Dolphins, talking Texans. Go ahead, Fish Tank.
Hey, Bobby, let me interrupt you. You know how I hate to do that.
I know you do.
Let me just give a shout out. Remember, folks, I leave here right after this show. I throw a couple things in my bag, and I jump in the car and I start driving.
That's right.
And I don't get done for 3 or 4 hours. So that's why I don't catch a lot of other shows and stuff like that after this show, folks. So to you folks out there that I don't catch your show, I apologize. I can't do it.
It's all good. It's all good. You're going to the Dolphin game, brother. We all know.
Yeah, my wife's over there packing right now. She's screaming at me.
We're gonna cut it. We're gonna.
She said, "No, take your time. I'm not done now."
Well, again, we have Digging in the Trenches, JPF Scout, Justin with Evan. Hank, shut the hell up. We got Dr. Reginald Brown.
Wait a minute, I didn't even see Hank shut the hell up. Who said that?
Evan, your friend, your son, Evan, adoptive son. Yeah, he's about to send yourself back to the foster care. Anyway, and then of course Dr. Brown, former Houston Oiler. That's at 2:00, so tune in. Then tomorrow, the return of the Miami Dolphins post-game show on the FinTalk Sports Network. Evan Posner, Justin JPF Scout, and myself, and whoever the hell else joins. Of course, raw emotion. We always have fun. Win, lose, or draw. We never draw, but win or lose. And then, of course, Monday, Tuesday, we got 3 great shows. We got Real Talk Fins Talk with Steve Malloy and Dolphins Thirsty. We got the Fins Bandwagon with Evan Posner and Fish Tank Hank. And then Beer and Sports Podcast with Josh Wingate, Josh Kimmel. Wednesday, Fast Break NBA Talk with Alex Atiachishka and Miami Clutch and whoever joins that show as a guest. Then we got No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. And what oh gosh, am I going to butcher someone's show? Bottoms Up, Fins Up with Mike the Hebrew Hammer Brown and his dad Lewis. Remember, Mike Brown is in Miami. He's going to the game tomorrow. What?
Do we have a list and time of these shows somewhere?
I'm saying them. If you don't interrupt.
I know you're saying them.
If you don't interrupt them.
I know you're saying them. I'm saying, is there a list somewhere?
Yeah, on Twitter.
All right. I tried to find a couple people's shows and I couldn't.
Oh, well, if you just go to
I
YouTube,
couldn't find the dates
type
and
in
times.
FinTalk Sports Network, you'll see all the shows right on that list. Great shows, great content, only on the FinTalk Sports Network. But you can only see Fish Tank Hank. You can see Fish Tank Hank only on 2 shows. That is Fins Talk Today and the Fins Bandwagon. I will send Hank a list and I'll get that out and I'll put it up on our site because if he says it, it's true. And we don't want to disappoint fans like the Fish Tank Hank, the one and only Fish Tank. Hank, are you excited about that game tomorrow?
That's my best W.
Don't sprain a finger.
I think I popped a knuckle on that one.
Oh, man. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Hank, have a safe drive. Everybody, thank you. We'll see you all tomorrow on the post-game show. Like, subscribe, and as always, fins up, everyone.
Fins up.